welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Ellie. So today I'm going to attempt to do a come book shopping with me video. So this is going to be slightly different because I'm only going to go to charity shops. I might pop in the Works because there is a Works where I'm going, but they don't have like a Waterstones or anything. But also it's my birthday next week and my entire birthday list is literally just books. So that's why I'm going to stick to the charity shops, because I don't want to risk buying something in case someone has got it for me already. So I've not done this for a while with moving. I think it's probably been about 3 or 4 months since I've just been around all the charity shops looking for books. So I'm really looking forward to it, as hopefully it's not super busy, because I find it really awkward to film in the shops if there's loads of people around. So fingers crossed it's going to be quiet, and fingers crossed that I find some good books. I'm going to be leaving in about half an hour, so I'm going to sit and read a bit more of my current read, which is Heartless by Elsie Silver. I've got just over 100 pages left, and I got back from Italy yesterday and I took this book with me, and before I went I'd started reading The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, but I left that at home and thought, oh, I'll definitely read this whilst I'm there. It's like a short enough book that I'll be able to finish on holiday, and yeah, I didn't end up finishing it, so I'm trying to finish this before I go back to Addie LaRue. Back now. Again, please ignore the background. This spare room is still kind of a bit of a dumping ground at the moment. So I bought some books. I bought a lot more than I should have done. I have 1 bag, 2 bags. I reasoned with myself that this was okay because over the last couple of weeks I have sold and donated a lot of books, so I have the space on my shelves hopefully for these. I did buy quite a few. I went in the Works as well, and I honestly had a bigger pile, but like I said, it's my birthday next week and I was in there with my mum and I'd asked for some books from the Works for my birthday, so I was like, I don't want to buy any in case I've got them for my birthday, but obviously she didn't want to give away any books that she had gotten for me, so I ended up putting 2 back that she said she thinks she recognised that I'm probably going to end up getting for my birthday next week. So yeah, there's quite a haul. I'll start off with the charity shops ones first, as that's obviously what I went to do. I found this copy of The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. It's a hardback copy. There is some damage to the spine, but like from the front you cannot tell. I know this is a really popular book. I had Circe but never read it, and I've never read this one, but honestly I just didn't want to leave this behind because it was such a pretty book. And then in the same charity shop I found this series. I'd never heard of it, but the covers of them were really pretty. I'm not sure what the order of them are, but the first one is Bright We Burn, Now We Rise, or Now I Rise, and I Darken. These are all by Kirsten White, and they have a stamp on them saying they're from Iowa City Public Library, so they're from America. I don't know if these are published in the UK because I've honestly never seen them, but they were complete cover buys. They were £2 each for a hardback, and yeah, I probably shouldn't have bought them. When I was driving back I was thinking maybe I should have saved the money for going to Yaug in a few months, but I don't know, I just thought they looked really pretty and they sounded really interesting. Okay, so I think this is the first one, And I Darken. So this first bit it says is, no one expects a princess to be brutal. So it sounds interesting. I think it's a fantasy, but yeah, these were a complete cover buy series. Then I found How to Sell a Haunted House by Grady Hendrix. I have never read anything by this author. I do have one book on my TBR. Is it like a Southern vampires, something about vampires, Southern book club, but I've never got around to reading it and I've never found it anywhere. So I picked this one up because it's by the same author and it sounds really interesting. It's not something at all that I would usually read, but it's about this woman and her parents have died, so she has to like return home to where she grew up, to her parents' house, and It sounds like the house that she has to try and sell is haunted, and she has some issues with her brother. So not the usual thing that I read, but it sounded interesting, and I do really want to try and read different genres and authors and things. So I'm going to try and get to this pretty soon. And I found a lot of the charity shops today were selling like ex-library books. I found this Insatiable by Meg Cabot. I've read a few books by this author. I think this is a YA, but this one is about vampires and the supernatural. We have a character called Mina. She can see everyone else's destiny but can't see her own, but then she meets Lucian, who's a modern day prince, and she can't see his destiny, and there's vampire hunters in this, so sounds like something I'm really going to enjoy. And then I also found another series. So these are Shine, Shift and Shade by Jerry Smith Reddy. Again, had never seen or heard of these, but these are some fantasy supernatural. I don't know if they follow the same character. It seems like it's the same series but different characters. I'm not too sure which is first, but it seems like these people can see ghosts. So another kind of a fantasy series. I've got so many books now that are perfect to read around October, but we've not got many days left. Then the final two books I found in the charity shops, I found Law by Alexandra Bracken. I've been wanting to read this for such a long time. It's been on the TBR for ages, and the hardbacks were all £2 each, I believe. These ones were all 50p each, and then the last two I think were £1 each. So yeah, I got Law, and then I also picked up The Girl Who Could Move with Her Mind by Jackson Ford. I think I've seen this around on BookTube, and it sounded really interesting. It was in really good condition. I really liked the cover. Again, it's something very different to what I usually read, but it seems, so this one we follow Tegan, and she has telekinetic powers. A body turns up and she has to prove her innocence, that it wasn't her that killed this person. So I just love the cover of this one. Finally, the ones I picked up in the works, I did have like some money on my loyalty card that I put towards this, so I tell myself it was okay. So the first one I picked up was, is it Babel or Babel? I've been really intimidated to read this one, but I've also really wanted to pick it up. I can get the paperback version for £5. Like, I couldn't resist. This is such a beautiful cover. I honestly don't know when I'm going to get around to reading it. I just really wanted to own a copy. Then I found Love in the Time of Serial Killers, and again, this is another one I've seen a lot of on Bookstagram. I didn't actually know anything about it. I just didn't think it'd be something I would like, but it sounds interesting. But My Roommate is a Vampire. This is by Jenna Levine. I've heard mixed reviews about this one, but anything vampire-y I want to read. I then picked up Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. I've seen, again, lots of people really love this book. I've read another book by this author last year, I think it was. I can't remember what it was called, but I did really like it, and I think a lot of people say like this is their favourite book by this author, so picked that one up. It wasn't a 3 for £6 deal, but there weren't any other books that I wanted today, so I think this was like £2.50 on its own. I then got Ever After Always by Chloe Leese. I read a book by this author a few weeks ago and really liked it, and I know a lot of people love this Bergman Brothers series, so picked that one up. And then I got Dear Aaron by Mariana Zapata. I've read a few books by this author and they've either been like hit or miss, so for £3 I thought I would give this one a go. Then the final one I picked up was Realm Breaker by Victoria Aveyard. This is the author of like the Red Queen series, and I read that a few years ago and didn't particularly enjoy it, but this sounded really good, and it's now only £3 and it's like a thick fantasy, so I really think I'm gonna like this one too. So there are all of the books. Now we have to try and find a home for them on the shelves. My desk is a mess, so here's the aftermath of the haul. I had all of these books for when I filmed my last video that I didn't put away before I went on holiday, so at least I have enough space on my TBR cart to reorganise that, but now I need to try and put them all away. TBR cart is now somewhat organised. I moved some of my shelves about as well, and I now have quite a bit of space on this one. Please ignore the labels off the books. So tomorrow, because I have the day off again, I might just sit and try and reorganise everything, but it looks better. So yeah, that was my haul of what I bought, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. If you've read any of the books that I purchased today, then please let me know what you thought of them. And yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you again next week.